I've recently noticed on online forums there is still quite a lot of people that don't know how to cycle their fish tank. There are 3 different ways of doing this, and today we'll take a look at all 3 methods. As I say, there are 3 methods of cycling your fish tank. There's the old school way, there's the more controversial fish in way, and then there's seeding your filter media. But before we get into those methods, first of all, we need to understand the nitrogen cycle. So the nitrogen cycle is fish poop will break down and turn into ammonia. And what you need then is the bacteria that will turn that harmful ammonia into the slightly less harmful nitrite, which then you need bacteria then to turn the nitrite into the still harmful, but only in high levels, nitrate. Now, over time, the beneficial bacteria that does this process will be all over your fish tank, it'll be in your filter, it'll be on every single surface. But when you first start your aquarium, none of that bacteria will be there. Well, technically some may be there if you've put live plants in there, then there will be traces of beneficial bacteria already on those plants. But this does not mean that your fish tank is cycled. It just means that there is a slight bit of bacteria there that can help kickstart the process. Before you start to cycle your aquarium, the first thing you need to do is invest into a good water testing kit. I recommend the API Master Test Kit, but there are lots of different tests out there. But just make sure you get one that's as accurate as it possibly can be. So, you've got your test kit, the tank's set up, the water and the plants are in there, and now we are ready to cycle the aquarium. So first of all, we'll take a look at the old school method of cycling, and that will be adding ammonia to the water column, which you can buy in stores, and then adding beneficial bacteria. You do this process, and then every 3 to 4 days, start testing that water. And what you're looking for is the ammonia that you've put in there. Your test kit will pick that ammonia up, but you're also then looking for the test kit to be picking up traces of nitrite. So you know that the beneficial bacteria is now feeding on the ammonia and it's turning that harmful ammonia into nitrite. Then you want to be testing for nitrate. If there are signs of nitrate, then the cycle has begun. It's not always a case that the nitrate will come through straight away, obviously, because that breakdown of ammonia to nitrate does take a little bit of time. But if you test every 3 to 4 days, then you'll notice this cycle will begin. And you keep testing, you keep adding beneficial bacteria, and over the next 2 to 6 weeks, you will notice then that the ammonia levels will reduce, and you're looking at reducing them to 0, and your nitrite levels will start to reduce, and you want to reduce them down to 0, and you'll be ending up with just nitrates in the water. Now, nitrates are still harmful to fish, but only in high parts per million. And if you have live plants, your live plants will feed on those nitrates. Once you get to the level of 0 ammonia, 0 nitrite, and there's nitrates in the water, your tank is then cycled. But that does not mean that you're going to add 100 fish into that aquarium straight away. Add 5 fish, keep monitoring the ammonia levels and the nitrite levels with your test kit, and in a few weeks' time, if you've not had an ammonia spike, then you'll be safe then to add maybe another 5 fish, and just keep adding to. Don't drop 100 fish in your aquarium in one hit, because even when your tank is cycled, that will cause ammonia spikes and will probably wipe out everything that's in there. The next method to cycle your aquarium is the more controversial fish in method. And this is where now your tank's set up again, you've got plants in there, you've got water in there, and now you need a source of ammonia. So you can put 5 fish in and they will poop. So as they're pooping, the bait that'll be broke down into ammonia. You're adding a beneficial bacteria and the cycle begins. This is controversial because what you're actually doing is subjecting those fish that you've put in there, you are going to be subjecting them to a level of ammonia. Now, if you're doing the fishing cycle, I personally think you need to be testing your water daily. So if you start seeing the level of ammonia rising on the fishing cycle, then you need to do a 50% water change just to get that ammonia level back down so it is less harmful. And keep doing this daily. Can again take 2 to 6 weeks, but it is a great method of doing, but it's a great method of doing if you do it properly and if you keep them ammonia levels down. But if you just drop fish in and let it cycle, then you're going to lose your fish, and obviously then it's the controversial part because it is quite cruel. Again, once this method is done and your tank is cycled, you should be reading 0 ammonia, 0 nitrite, and then there'll be a level of nitrate in your water. Then the next, third method, the easiest method if you're lucky enough to know someone who has another aquarium, is the seeding method. Now, seeding is something that I've done on a couple of tanks, but you still have to watch the level of fish that you're putting in there. But what you need then is, if you have another aquarium, you can take the media out of that aquarium and squeeze that into your new filter, or squeeze it into the tank. And what that does is add a good level of the beneficial bacteria that you are looking for into your aquarium or into your filter. Once that's added, give it a couple of days, run a test, and the chances are you will be showing 0 ammonia, 0 nitrite, and you will be showing levels of nitrate, which technically means that your tank is cycled. But again, just watch the amount of fish that you put in there and keep testing, because you don't want an ammonia spike. Cycling your aquarium is time consuming and can be quite stressful, but once it is done, it's such a great feeling knowing that you can add fish to your aquarium safely. And now it's time to put your feet up and think about that summer holiday that you've got coming in a few months. But that's just kicked in another worry. Who's going to take care of your aquarium whilst you're away? Or what practices can you put in place so you can enjoy that beer in the sun? And if you want to know what to do, then I suggest you watch this video next.